Alrighty boys, welcome back to another video, and today we have some more dev news. So by dev news I mean what the devs have said or the community managers have said about the most recent beta, changes, future changes, and yeah, all those things in between. Again, like always, I have to preface in these videos, currently we still, as of November 25th, and we still have 5 more days 5 more days until the end of November, where the devs did say that they're looking for a November release dates when it comes to the what's it called? Well, not a well, like from a beta to live move, so it releases on PlayStation and Xbox. They said by the end of November, unless problems arise. So we're either gonna get the patch, or we're probably gonna get a statement from them probably sometime in the next 5 days is what I expect. Pretty sure if we do get a statement, they might answer why it's taking so long. That would kind of make sense. If not, maybe we do get the move, and I will let you know when that does happen. Okay? But with that being said, let's go over what the devs have said and what players have asked for, because we have a bunch of it, as you can see. All right, so first, we have a person asking about the weapon accuracy or the weapon inaccuracy that we got, which I also made a video about how riding will affect your accuracy now when you try to use a bow or crossbow on horseback when you don't have good riding. It's very inaccurate. So the player says the weapon inaccuracy multiplier from 40% to 1500%, which was a huge jump, which will significantly widen the crosshair. This is a typo right value. Change can't be that extreme. Nope, it is. The community manager says it's not a typo. The effect of the multiplier is very small. 40% translates into a few pixels. Essentially, the new value should now provide an actual noticeable weapon inaccuracy. And again, I did make a video pretty much showing off how the inaccuracy works when you have like no bow skill and no riding skill, when you only have bow skill but no riding, and when you have both skills all the way up to 100, which is when all the inaccuracy kind of falls off, right? So I'm gonna link that video down below. It's gonna be the first link down below. It's what's it called? It explains it pretty well, I think. Next we have is another person saying, making a statement. Seriously, this patch was a disappointment. He's talking about the beta 1.2.5 patch. By the time you guys took to do stuff, unless there's more than it's written here. Interesting. And then the developer responds and says different branches are worked on concurrently. And then pretty much this like little thing that they got going over here with the X's, it pretty much shows like if there's a change in the number when it comes to the patch name, there's a change in the number all the way to the right. It's patches that focus on critical bug fixes and minor balance/content changes. Like for example, when we went from 1.2.4 to 1.2.5, since it's the most like pretty much at the end on the right side, it's pretty much just crash fixes and bug fixes. It's not major additions, is what he's trying to say, right? And then he says in beta live usually you won't see content changes. Okay. And then he says whenever there's a change in the middle number, if this 2 changes to a 3, let's say for example we go from 1.2.5 to 1.3.0, that means now we're moving, and that will introduce the regular feature and content changes. That's kind of how it works. So again, this wasn't supposed to be a big patch. It was a beta change or a beta patch that pretty much has a lot of crash fixes, a lot of bug fixes. Like it has a very good amount, to be honest with you. This is a very good amount in consideration to other, patches they've made it in the past. And also, we did get changes. And they're pretty good changes, I'm not going to lie to you. The troop AI when it comes to tournaments are actually a lot harder. I did play them yesterday. They are a lot harder. That video is also dropping very shortly, probably the next couple of days. I gotta edit it real quick. And then we also received not only the garrisons were changed, also good. You get militia whenever you take over a garrison right away, and the donations are a little bit more spread out, like in a good way. And then obviously we got the penalties to your what's it called? Your range skill if you are on what's it called, horseback, and you have no riding skill. I think it makes sense. I think it's a pretty good change. And obviously the huge changes when it came to modding, which was for the what's it called? If I'm not mistaken, because again I don't know much about modding, right? But the campaign map and the loading times for like shaders and stuff got significantly better and reduced in terms of time. I'm pretty sure that's how it worked. But yeah, I think it was pretty decent. Now moving on, we have what's it called? A suggestion. So we have a suggestion called defense policy should prevent lords from besieging new settlements. This person says, "Hello, I am a king in a late stage game. I want to get some break from conquering and fortify already existing borders, recruit new lords, and manage other stuff. Alright, alright, alright. Setting defensive policy should disable siege option for my faction AI because now they are taking and losing one castle or city back and forth, making it an unusable level 1 ruin for which rebuilding improvements will take ages, or they create an army, go in the middle of the enemy territory, and die." Okay, and he says making peace is not always a way because... So he's pretty much saying, is there a way to like make it so, because I know you can kind of do... You can kind of already set kind of like what you want, if you want them to be more offensive, more defensive, but they're still going to make their own choices at the end of the day. But he's pretty much saying, like, don't take any new land at this time. That could kind of be like, oh, yeah, like a little ceasefire, I guess, right? And then the community manager says, "Hi, just wanted to say that this will be brought up internally." There you go. Might happen. Next, moving on, we have news board in town/tavern. Excuse me, I had to sneeze right there. There should be a newsboard in town or tavern that shows how many recruits are available and quests which bound villages need help. A guy in the tavern asked to help his village like in Warband. Well, you actually can talk to the tavern guy, and there's a lot of stuff he can do for you when it comes to skills, relearning, and also define people. So they already do have that, but a news board would be cool too. More stuff to interact with in the town to run around is always cool. So yeah, I kind of agree with this. The tavern keeper could be informant while we can ask him if there's any quests. I feel like he can already do that if I'm not mistaken. Another thing is in the town is now lack of bustling. You need more townspeople going around, and the marketplace needs even more bustling to make the town look more living. Thanks for taking a look. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool too. Even more busier towns than it is, but it's already pretty cool. Like, listen, if there's more interactions that you could do in the town with all the stuff that's in the town already, I feel like that would be such a big bonus. Like, I don't know exactly what you could do. Maybe make like the smallest of smallest mini games when it comes to like the people in the towns that dance, or like they have like the people that are playing the instruments and that one lady. I don't know if a man ever dances, but I think it's just the lady that always dances. Like make it like a mini game where you like can like dance with that person, or make it like just stuff that you can do. It would be so much more fun if there would be stuff that you can just do in the town while running around. Like all the stuff is there. They just need to make it like usable. Like certain things, not everything, just certain things. I think it would be very fun. I don't know. Maybe like for example, hey, here's a quick example. I got this one from Resident Evil 4, right? Make it so like the eggs sometimes I said the eggs. The chickens sometimes lay eggs. And then you can pick the eggs up and you can throw them. Something like that, and then make it so we can use them against in alley fights. We can use them to like blind the enemy. Just something, just little things here and there. Like I said before, a little treasure chest also. You can find some jewelry inside of it. Spawns in random spots in every single town. Just have like 10 random spots, and like every single time you load into that town, only 2 out of the 10 spots can be looted. Stuff like that would make it so much better. Like I said, a lot of times the town is very beautiful, but no one really experiences it because there's no need to, because there's not much you can really do. There's a couple of things, and you could do the whole sightseeing thing, but that's like a one-time thing and then you don't do it again is pretty much what I'm trying to say. But there is potential there, and I think it should be actually, seized upon, not just be like, it's all right, we'll think about it. But I think it should really be like a change to the towns to just make them a little bit more lively. Just a little bit more. Like for example, when you go into the tavern, you can or when you go into the keep, you can play the board games. You can talk to the people there. Sometimes they give you like trade secrets, like stuff like that. It's cool. It's interactable. Just more of that stuff. More. It could be very simple stuff. It doesn't have to be like a huge game-changing thing. Just very simple things that might have a little bit more purposes than just one. If that kind of makes sense. No, moving on. Kind of went off on a rant. Crazy. Next, we have a person saying the low riding penalty is way overdone. My usual starting character with 20 riding is useless. The target reticle barely closes. Entire band of looters is in it. You can't really aim at all. Just shoot in general direction. And yes, arrows sometimes do fly off at crazy angles. 1500 should be brought down to 500 tops. Please fix this. I disagree. And again, first link down below to the video I have of me actually going over the changes to the ranged whenever it comes to being on horseback. I think it is a good change. I think it makes it so early game is just a little bit harder. Not crazy harder. You can still take out all the looters. I did it in the video. It's not extremely hard. Yes, it's a little bit more dangerous than before because you have to be a lot more closer. But it's not that big of a deal because literally all the inaccuracies drop off when you reach 100 riding, which isn't hard to get because you get riding just by riding a horse. If you have a horse in your inventory and you're riding the horse on the campaign map, that gives you experience for riding. Also, you get experience for riding inside of any battle or siege or anything like that. So it's very easy to get. So the inaccuracy does drop off. Yes, in the beginning it's going to be harder, but that's the point. And I think it makes sense. If you have no riding experience and you have barely any bow experience, if you get on a horse and then you also try to shoot a bow and you suck at both, well, you shouldn't be able to hit shots. Just saying, it makes sense. So I kind of disagree. But unfortunately, the community manager says the support team is aware of this and is forwarded for further investigation. Don't do it. Don't do it. Please, I beg of you. I like it. It's good. It makes it fun. It's like, I don't know. It makes it just a little bit harder. I don't know if I don't think people mind harder games too. I'm going off on a lot of tangents here, but I don't think people mind harder games too because like people love Dark Souls and like Lives of P, Elden Ring, and those are like hard games where they die and they have to respawn. So I don't think it's a bad thing to make it sometimes harder in the game, if that kind of makes sense. But I am babbling. Let's move on. That pretty much is all I have to talk about today. Those are all of the changes and everything that's being talked about. So there is some conversation about the inaccuracy changes. I think they're good. Some people say they're not good. We have a talk about how branches work whenever it's on, or how what the number means whenever it comes to the patch notes. If it's all the way at the end on the right, that means it's kind of just crash fixes. If it's the number in the middle, those are content updates, big content updates. And if we ever see a 2 instead of a 1, that pretty much means they literally not redid the game, but added a huge chunk of extra game to the game. Version 2 would be I don't even know. I don't even know what that would look like. I don't think we're gonna see that, but maybe we will. But yeah, that will do it. Also, my beta patch 1.2.5 video is out if you want to go check it out. And I have a lot more videos coming out. I have secret changes that we did get for Bannerlord. That video is dropping this week as well. A lot is happening. So yeah, without further ado, I will see you in the next one.